I'm done choosing my words. After 35 years in obstetrics, I've earned that right. And what I'm seeing right now is not progress. It's more intervention, more anxiety, more fear, more confusion, and fewer people who actually understand what's happening. So, this won't be polished. This is organized chaos. Do you know what it takes to stand in a hospital room as a doctor after high school? 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and grueling 4 years of residency, at least 80 hours a week. Then comes board exams, written, oral, state licensing, followed by hospital privileges, which can take months. It's years just to be allowed in the room as a doctor, responsible for the outcome. Then someone walks in, certified doula, maybe excellent, maybe experienced, or like many, maybe weekend course. Did you know there's no national standard, no national licensing requirement, no unified regulation when it comes to doulas? But strong opinions, yes. Willing to challenge the system. Let's walk through a case, a real case. VBAC, or vaginal birth after cesarean section. Typically, in most hospitals, it's standard to have IV access and do continuous monitoring. Because with VBAC, when something goes bad, it goes bad fast. Now, then a doula steps in and says, oh, she doesn't want the IV, and she doesn't want monitoring. What? Did she just say that? Now let's talk about NFL analogy. This is like someone in the stands during NFL playoff game, walking onto the field, arguing with an NFL referee. Yeah. Now, watching the game and officiating the game, it's not the same. Just as understanding a process and taking the responsibility of the outcome is not the same. Let me be clear about one thing. I am not against doulas. I think my dear friends who are doulas will back me up. In fact, doulas might be the only group that can actually change maternal health globally. It's not the hospital, it's not the doctors, it's not the providers, but only if they evolve. Do you know what great doulas look like? The best doulas I know, and I have many, I have at least 13 of them who I'm working with right now. They understand the system. They don't fight the room. They understand what their roles are. They read the room. They listen more than they talk. They support without performing. It's advocacy without chaos. And that's power. Let's talk about the reality. 98% of births in this country are taking place in the hospital, When doulas say, I stay in my lane, I say, what lane? If you are in the hospital, then you are in the system. In my office, I'm the king. But in hospital, I'm a peasant too. I have rules to follow. It's not my way. There are rules, hierarchy, liability. So that's the reality. So when doulas say, I stay in my lane, I don't really understand what you're saying. I can say all this not because I entered the medical school in 1985, but because of where I come from. My mother was 15 when she got pregnant and had me at 16. No prenatal care, just a few years after the Korean War ended. Luckily, my grandmother was there. So, for the first 12 years of my life, I was pampered. I was cared for by my grandmother. Then I came to the United States at the age of 12. And when I turned 18, with one-way Greyhound bus ticket in my pocket and $20, I joined the Navy. Eventually, I came to Boston, where I trained at Old Boston City Hospital. So women gave me the foundation, the Navy gave me the backbone, and I found medicine. I didn't arrive here by accident. That's the pathway I took. Now look at where we are. Too many C-sections, 1 out of 3 in this country. And too much anxiety, too much fear, too much noise. Too little trust. And too little integration. So, now the system wants doulas. More doulas. United Healthcare says they would pay for doula coverage. Great. Great news. Expansion. But you know what? The workforce, doulas as a whole, is not ready. Why? There's no standard. There's no regulation. Some are excellent. Some have potential. But I would say at least a third of doulas pick the wrong profession. And some think they know everything. Here's the core truth. I'll say it again. Understanding a process is not the same as being responsible for the outcome. Remember that line. Now, if doulas want real power, and you can have it, understand the system. Understand the environment, understand the room. Understand when to speak and listen more than talking. That's not surrender. That's mastery. And let me tell you what I created after all this talking. For all the reasons I stated, I created Doula Unbound, the first OB-created doula training program to help doulas. I'm not anti-doula. I'm pro-standard. I'm pro-integration. I'm pro-mother. Doula Unbound is going to raise clinical standard, professional standard, and help you integrate into the system. Training for the real world. Not the ideal one. Now, I can't keep speaking carefully. I'm going to annoy many of you. So be it. I'm not choosing my words anymore. If you want to change the world, speak up. If you want to be taken seriously, then understand the environment. Understand the system. We can do this, for sure. But we must come together. This is Chun Unfiltered.